Before we get cooking, here's what you need to know about me. I'm here today because others believed in me and empowered me. If you know me in real life, you know that I believe in empowering others with all of my heart. Before I married my soldier, I was a professional chef of the highest caliber. I was president of the student body at the Culinary Institute of America, chef at the Ritz-Carlton, and lead apprentice at the Certified Master Chef exam. I really had my life together. Then, I met this high achiever and saw that he was going places. I figured I could move every year or so and start a new job. Chefs do that all the time. He gave me the ultimate pitch, and I ended up married to the military. A 14-month deployment, a stint on Bravo's Next Top Chef, and a duty station later, I began to learn that fine dining restaurants weren't typically near any of the Army duty stations we were moving to. I started to realize that maybe I didn't actually know what I had signed up for in this military life. After several moves, with no Instagrammable restaurants, and having lost my celebrated chef identity, my spark began to smolder. I took on jobs I could find at any time when no one was really hiring military spouses. It was a really sad time for me personally, and I'd stopped believing in myself, grieving the loss of my sense of self because I couldn't do what set my soul on fire. More pivotal in my life, I grieved an even bigger loss, my first son, who died while I was in labor. My husband deployed again, and that was a really dark year. As I looked up from my rock bottom, I realized I had a choice. I could stay in the darkness, or I could muster the strength to pull myself out. And in my family, the mantra is that the hopes don't lie and the hopes don't quit. So I started to pull myself out. Fortunately, in addition to growing our family, days started to get brighter, and I bootstrapped a handcrafted military-themed jewelry business to give me a sense of fulfillment. Hope Design Limited had extremely humble beginnings. I was creating jewelry at the kitchen table while my newborn slept. Have you heard the Eddie Cantor quote? It takes 20 years to make an overnight success. Well, 5 years later, the second lady wore a Hope Design brooch to announce a military White House initiative. It was my first real celebrity endorsement, and the effect it had on my business was insane. My business quadrupled overnight, and I made my first hire. The rest is history. So this newfound visibility led me to create the Shop Military movement in 2018. I pitched to the entire country why they should shop military entrepreneurs. I pitched to some incredible people along the way, and I learned the significance of elevator pitches in networking, prospecting, and in interviews. Here's Holly Ann Milley. You may have heard of her husband, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They empowered me to keep sharing my story. So now, I pitch and speak professionally from my perspective as a military spouse and an entrepreneur. Enter Mark Rockefeller, an Air Force veteran and a passionate military supporter. Year after year, I attend the Military Influencer Conference and kept running into Mark. One successful pitch later, he took me on the road as the executive director of his 501c3 nonprofit foundation to teach military entrepreneurs how to speak confidently about their businesses. This experience has made me fearless in front of crowds. I learned that repetition is everything in making a pitch muscle memory. I will pitch literally anyone on the powers of entrepreneurs. Now, in addition to business consulting and content creation, I teach classes online and in person to get entrepreneurs ready for the battle of business. I believe so heavily in the power of entrepreneurs that it is now literally my job to support you in changing the world. I'm sure you can imagine that in pitch competitions and in these classes, I get to hear a lot of pitches, both for better and for worse. These experiences have all added up into some phenomenal guidance on how to pitch your perfect recipe. Let's get started. Diving into Module 1, the essentials of a great pitch.